Hi guys, welcome back to the PEP podcast. So we're your hosts, Presley
and Ellie,
and today we're going to be covering eating disorders. So last episode we covered PTSD, and the one before that we covered depression. So this week is eating disorder. So really heavy topics here. The first thing we're going to say is eating disorders are a very serious mental health condition with severe physical and psychological consequences. We understand this is a epidemic, kind of, but I feel like a lot of people, like, either make fun of it or, like, make jokes like, oh, she must be, like, anorexic because she's so skinny. Like, I feel like people make jokes about it all the time, but we're not going to make a joke out of this. It's a very serious topic.
Yes. It's very serious. Like, one of my family members even died from anorexia. It is it's very psychological. It's in your mind, and you have like a bad body image of yourself. So my family member died of anorexia, which is pretty much starving yourself. So she got hooked on it when she was like 16 because of a friend, and then her friend got off of it, but she got addicted to it and just kept doing it till her body gave out. It just gave her mind just had such a bad image of herself and kept telling her that she needed to lose weight. She was way too overweight when really she was like skinny and everything. And so this can go to just girls not who don't even have eating disorders, but having a bad body image of themselves, which can lead to eating disorders. And back to what you said, how like it's kind of been like not normalized, but we've all been like, oh, it's just an eating disorder from like TV shows or something. They just make fun of it when it's really a serious thing. And if a girl or a woman is struggling with their body images and someone says that to them, then it gets them thinking, and they're like, wait a second, am I like if I think I'm overweight, then other people are now thinking I'm overweight. Like, I need to do something about it when they don't.
Yeah, and it really, like, as you said, it's a psychological. It's all about your mindset and, like, how you view yourself, I feel like. Neither of us, I don't think, have ever had, like, direct experience with this. She had a family member, but, like, we've never experienced it ourselves, personally.
That family member died before I was born.
Yes. So we've never had, like, direct experience with this. So we're not one to talk about, like, how it affects you. But through what we have researched, there's many different effects that can come with it. The abnormal eating habits and the weight loss can lead to other health problems and other disorders such as depression. We talked about this in the depression episode a little bit. I'm pretty sure we touched on eating disorder, but it can really affect that, because if you're always like not liking your body, then that's going to lead to other disorders such as depression, because depression is like when you are always negative and like sad. It's not only about sadness, but
and also one of the symptoms of depression is abnormal eating habits. So this depression could lead to eating disorder, and eating disorder could lead to depression.
Yes. There are 3 like most common types of eating disorders, which are anorexia nervosa and bulimia nervosa. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And binge eating disorder. Now, binge eating disorder and anorexia are 2 completely different things. Anorexia is when you don't eat and you
lose a bunch of weight.
Yeah, and you just keep losing until, like she said, your body gives out. Binge eating disorder is the opposite end of the spectrum, where you eat so much, maybe for comfort, maybe like you've had a very big experience happen in your life, like a traumatic experience, which would go hand in hand with PTSD. All these disorders like go hand in hand. Yeah. anyways, so maybe you've gone through like a traumatic experience, and maybe eating is like a coping mechanism that you've created, which is not the best coping mechanism.
No.
But this can cause a binge eating disorder. And so it can cause you to be overweight and unhappy with your body. And because most of the time it's a cycle, most of the time because you're sad, then you eat, and then you're sad because you don't like what you see in the mirror, and then you eat because you're sad, and then you just, it goes in a cycle most times.
And then for bulimia, it's a mix of the two. You overeat a lot in like one session, and then like afterwards you feel so bad about yourself that you'll like make yourself throw up, like self-inducing vomit. It can affect like all people of all ages, all backgrounds. It doesn't just pertain to a certain people group.
The treatment for eating disorders usually involves a combination of therapy and medication and nutritional counseling, which I feel like a lot of times if you have a really bad eating disorder and like maybe you go into like shock or I don't know what the technical word for it, but like pass out from not eating enough, from malnutrition, then they will actually force feed you in the hospital, literally watching you, making you eat, or they will like
give you a feeding tube.
Yeah, give you a feeding tube. That's the word. I was trying to think of the word.
Yeah, and then for like the counseling is where like the psychological part comes in, and that's just dealing with your mind, your self-image, and trying to get you to think more positively about yourself.
So
if you know anybody who is suffering eating disorder, or is like about to, who is having a bad self-image, just encourage them to seek help or just be there for them.
Not encourage them to like to do it.
No!
Like, encourage them, to seek help.
Yeah, to get treatment.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening, and we hope that you will continue to listen to our podcast. And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.
Yep.
Bye.